I honestly don't know what to say about this next guest of ours, except that she is one of the loveliest people that I know in the city. My name is Gil Robertson, president of the African American Film Critics Association. And today we are doing a celebration of Salli Richardson-Whitfield, who has been nominated for not one, but two Emmys for her work on the HBO series Winning Time. We are absolutely thrilled at this opportunity. Salli has been with this organization since day one. There is there's little, if anything, that we would not do to support and uplift and celebrate her. So we're going to kick things off today by introducing you to the African members who are on the call today, starting with Derek Dunn in Washington, D.C., Kim Singleton in New York, New York, Ruben Perlada Ricard in South Florida, Dr. Ruben Perlada Ricard, Ray Cornelius in Atlanta, Georgia, Dana Abercrombie in New York, New York, Carolyn Hines in Toronto, Jill Monroe in Los Angeles, and Karan Lenoir Kelly in Virginia. I'm gonna let you guys do what you do so well, and I'll see you on the other side.
Nice to meet you all.
New York is where society puts itself on display. The leaders meet each other, and their children court each other. The old guard think they can keep out the new people with impunity, but nothing stays the same forever. Change came from the American Revolution, but it was difficult to live through all the same. I intend to bring the great city of New York the opera house it deserves.
The members of the Academy are very determined it should not succeed.
You'll need to pick a team. That's it. Head to head, and one will be the winner.
Mrs. Russell is even more of a fighter than I had realized.
Is there any chance I could come back to 61st Street?
Agnes would welcome you back with open arms.
I never dreamt that I might still fall in love. But I wonder what Agnes will think.
Cousin Dashiell? He's taken a real interest in Marion.
But I don't just want a husband on Data.
He is rich. He's even handsome.
What more could a girl ask for?
We're covering the opening of a new school in Tuskegee.
You have never been south.
I need to show the world there are colored people making something of their lives.
Things are worse than I thought.
Your workers are paid barely enough to put food on the table.
Why must I be the villain in every story? I have lifted whole towns out of poverty.
You're making a terrible mistake. Stop being so selfish.
I won't be put in a cage.
Have you forgotten that you live here at my pleasure?
I'm afraid we have a serious problem.
I cover all your backs, but who's covering mine?
There are no guarantees in war. And that's what this is. You seem to have won the first battle.
I intend to win the war. Please.
How you doing, Mrs. Whitfield? Derek Dunn, Reviews and Dunn, out of the D.C. area. First and foremost, I got to shout you out for displaying your husband's book in the background.
Oh.
It was very life-changing for me. So I just wanted to give you that quick caveat. And congrats on your Emmy nomination.
Thank you.
So from your acting days, two of my favorite things you did was the movie Butter and an episode of New York Undercover in the first season where you played a singer in both. So with your directorial ambitions now, is there any type of musical biopic that you would love to do as a miniseries?
Woo, wow. That's I mean, I think I always had this, this love for Lena Horne's story, and maybe that'll happen for me in the future. But I think I'm more, I've really kind of fallen into this super dramatic, almost action world. And we were just talking a second about my old series, Eureka. And if there's a way for me to do sort of an elevated genre kind of show, sci-fi action mixed with gritty drama, that's really, that would be my real love, to do something interesting like that.
Cool. Thank you.
Hi, Salli. Kim Singleton, Consider It Blacklit podcast and television show out of New York City. And congratulations on your Emmy nominations. Long overdue. I'd like to talk about The Gilded Age because it's a period piece and I love period pieces and I love history. And it's so well written. I love all the characters, the storylines, but I specifically love the storyline of the Black elite that lived in Brooklyn in the 1800s, because those are stories we just don't see. My question is, what steps are made to make sure that that story being told is authentic to Black people and to our history?
Well, we have a wonderful historian, Miss Erica Dunbar, who really guides us through what this world actually was. And I think that that is why people love it so much, because not only does it feel authentic, it's because it is. And we're always checking with her. Like this new season, we're really going deeper into that society. We're tackling some of the issues of colorism in our own community. They're working on that, even what she would say, more of a highfalutin accent that our Black elite had at that time. We have Miss Felicia Rashad is going to be on the show this season. So the storyline is really opening up. And then we also have Sonia Warfield, who writes with Julian Fellows, just to make sure that, and it's another Black woman, to make sure that our Black elite are authentic and historical. And then I'm there to make sure all the other stuff is right.
Well, thank you. No pressure, but could you hurry it up a little bit? Because I can't wait. Thank you so much, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Hello there, Salli. Ray Cornelius here with Upfront Inside the Entertainment Industry out of Atlanta. And I co-sign what Kim just said. Totally love The Gilded Age. Wanted to say congratulations on your nomination. What does that mean for you at this point in your career? You've been doing this for a very long time. I remember first seeing you in the, the Western film with Mario Van Peebles. I'm forgetting it right now.
Posse.
There we go. And just to see you from there, as well as Antoine Fisher and so many other films, and now what you're doing with the Gilded Age and Winning Time, what does this win, or this nomination, I should say, mean for you?
We can just go with win. Okay. No, I'm kidding. It's, in reality, I haven't been directing that long. I think it's like really full time these last 10 years, although it's gone by very quickly. And, Shannon Barr, my publicist, was really the first one to call me to say, hey, not only are you nominated, but you just made history as the first Black woman to direct a drama series, which is insane to me. So it really means a lot to me to be that first woman. At the same time, it saddens me that I can't believe that I am. I look at, people like Debbie Allen who've come before me, who've done such amazing work. So I think what it means for me is that hopefully that'll open the doors for other Black women, other people of color, to have the opportunity to direct shows on the big stage like this, so that you will be in those categories to be nominated. Some of it is about having the access to an HBO, so that you're getting those kind of scripts and shows that can be nominated. So I'm just very excited, and I know my daughter's watching, and she's super proud of me, and we'll see what happens on the day. I'm sure all of you are Academy voters, so you better go online and vote for me.
Absolutely, and congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Hi, Salli. My name is Ruben Peralta from Cocalegas. I'm in Miami.
Pleasure.
In terms of my pleasure, and congratulations, it's super cool. It's super cool. And in terms of industry, you've been part of being actors, actress, and also directing. In terms of creation, of now that we have a different industry with a lot of shows, we're telling more stories in TV than before. And how do you feel that the industry is shifting to tell more stories in TV than actually feature films?
I think that obviously it gives us more room to tell our stories. I still think there's a lot of there's a lot more growth we need to have shows like The Gilded Age that people are loving, where our stories are explored more, not just now, but the past, and being honored in ways with great integrity. But at the same time, things seem better. Sometimes they're really the same thing, and I don't really know what to do about that. I think that what has grown the business for all of us is that we have a lot more creators and writers who are telling our own stories. And hopefully we can continue to put those on bigger platforms so more people can see it. And again, so that we are in contention for Emmys and Oscars and, Golden Globes and NAACP Image Awards, all of those categories.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Salli. I'm Carolyn Hayes for Carolyn Talks Podcast YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us today, and congratulations. I just want to echo that for everyone because it is much deserved for your time in the industry. I want to talk about how the industry changing and the time that you spent in it has actually informed you as a director, because your history in Hollywood is vast and very long. You've done all kinds of genre shows like Eureka, and you've directed and produced. And also I have to give a shout out for your work as a voice actress in Gargoyles. Gargoyles was a part of my life as a child, teenager / but because you have all of that experience in so much different areas of the filmmaking process and in so much different genres, how has that informed you as a director, especially now because the industry has changed so much over the years? TV has changed. So how does that inform you as a director?
Well, you really have to be able to raise your game. I mean, it's like shooting a feature film. The shows that I'm doing on HBO, these are not small stories. They expect it to look like it's on the big screen. And I think that all that work, all the small work, doing medical shows, action shows, sci-fi shows, fantasy shows, I bring all of that to jobs that, even though Gilded is completely different, there's tricks that I learn everywhere. So I just think that people in this business now, you have to be prepared and be versatile so that you can grow and do these bigger platforms. So it's just all about having that training ground and growing and growing.
And congratulations on the Emmy nom. And Gilded Age reminds me of shows like Upstairs, Downstairs, which is more of a British show. So if you're not doing all the British shows, you might not know it, but you guys got that down packed. So thank you so much, and congrats.
Well, it's Lord Julian Fellows, so he very much loves Upstairs and Downstairs. If you've ever watched Downton Abbey, this is his sweet spot.
There you go. Yes, Minister, those old British shows, but yes. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hi, Dana Abercrombie, The Coalition. It's kind of to piggyback a little bit on Caroline's question. What I wanted to know is, speaking about the diversity of shows that you did direct and produce and was a part of, was very early on in your career. How did you manage to not be pigeonholed and to prove to people that, hey, I'm good for fantasy, I'm great for sports, I can do drama and fiction, all these different categories?
Well, I think that, it was easy to sell people on the fact that I know how to work with actors because I'm an actress. So, that part was done. But I got very lucky. I was on Eureka. Eureka was the first TV show that I directed. So I started out directing visual effects, heavy shows, doing a show like Eureka. And then because of the amount of people I've worked with before, different producers, I then went on to do Shadowhunters because it happened to be a showrunner who worked on Eureka before. So starting out with those kind of genre shows early on really established me as someone who could handle action, could handle sci-fi, knew how to work with actors, and it made it easy to transition into different shows. So I really owe a lot to the producers who knew me in the beginning and really gave me a shot. And I talk about this a lot. It's more about having that opportunity to get into the room. And then when you're there, I then know I have to work harder than everyone. I have to be like on my game. In the beginning, am I going to be the best in the world yet? No, it takes a little, you got to do them over and over, but you got to get your feet wet to grow. And I had a lot of people who really took a chance and gave me opportunity, Black, white, male, female. And I thank them. That's the reason I'm here now.
The first season, I thought we got basketball right, but we really wanted to challenge ourselves and bring everything that we learned and then add some more seasoning to that pot, and I think that we accomplished that. We have at least 4 to 5 cameras going at the same time in different formats. So that may be Ikegami, that may be the 35 mil, that may be the 16 mil, that may be 8 mil. Now we're gonna do our TV cameras on it. TVs are zooming, and that's the stuff that when you look at it, you go, oh my God, that looks just like real vintage footage. But what makes it, I think, interesting for the viewer is we go beyond that. To get into the game, that's what makes it exciting because everyone's seen it. So how do we make it better? So we were coming up with new contraptions and amazing machines, and then we add in the most special piece. We bring in John Like, our camera operator on skates, and he is really the cherry on the top of this sundae that brings all this basketball to life. And all of those scenes are very choreographed. Those are the things that we are rehearsing before we shoot. People have to be in exactly the right places, and he's like wrapping around and following the ball and going up to the dunks. His work has been what people really responded to last year, and I think this year the narrative inside of the basketball is even more exciting than it was last year.
Hi, Salli, Jill Monroe, RSVP with Jill Monroe. Congratulations, echoing everyone else on the Emmy nomination. Winning Time was one of my personal favorites, all of my favorite things and the things. So for you as an actress transitioning over, we've talked about you working across genre and so forth. When you learn these new tricks or these new moments, what is that experience like learning on the job, even though there are these big stages that you're on? How do you sort of pace yourself so that you are in the moment doing what you do, but still open enough to take in these new aspects that you're picking up?
You know, you have this combination of things. So if you don't necessarily, like if something comes up and you go, ooh, I don't know how to do that yet. There's this one thing of kind of faking it till you make it, because you can't be, because it's really this fine line of sitting at a table, and if you show any weakness, people will jump on it. But it's very easy for me. I'm trying to explain how it works there, but at the end of the day, it's really about telling stories. And if there's some card trick I haven't done before, I can still tell you what I want it to look like. I can look at a film or get references of what I want it to look like. I now have a stunt coordinator, and he's going to design something for me, and I can talk to him about it. What I've learned is in the beginning, when I was doing smaller stuff, I really did feel like I had to do it on my own. But in reality, the bigger the show gets, the more it does become a group effort between all the departments. And you have to be able to trust in the people who know their craft. Trust in your visual effects guy who's going to tell you how this needs to be done, or your DP to help you through a particular sequence, because you don't need to know every single answer. So I think that that's what's helped me. And then every job I now go, okay, I've done that car sequence now. So I go to the next job, I know how to build on that much more. So every small job helps you for that next one because you're just building on it.
Amazing. Thank you.
Hey, Salli, it's Karan Kelly from Karanism.com and Love Music Pleasure. I want to first of all start by thanking you because you've always been so generous in your artistry, and you've been so generous to us as the African American Film Critics Association. I want to give you flowers. But the thing I really want to ask you is, what was the pivotal moment when you shifted from artistry into artistic leadership?
Wow, it really happened on Gilded during COVID. I was initially going to go on I was supposed to do 2 episodes. Then and there was me, another director, and Michael Engler, who did the pilot. And because of COVID, we were all talking on the phone a lot. And the more conversations I had with the team, the more they felt like I was a really good fit. And they said, what would you think about doing half of the episodes? And we're going to tell the other director that this is a new way we're going. And something in me said, that sounds interesting, but I would have to have a bigger role because I'd be spending a lot of time. I will now become part of creating this show because I'm starting it from the beginning with Michael. And I feel like I just have to have a little more ownership in it. And then I had already, I think, been hired to do Winning Time, and I said, I could go be doing a lot of other things. And they said yes. And it became like sometimes you got to ask, right? That's what everyone else does. And they said yes. They made me an executive producer. And that somehow at that same time grew into what started as a first look deal. And then the more we talked, became an overall deal with HBO. And it really stemmed from me standing in my power of what I thought I was worth. And Francesca Orsi, who has really been a cheerleader, she's like basically the second in command at HBO, has really been this wonderful cheerleader for me, said, yeah, we're going to do that with you. And now I'm on my third show with them going on my 5th year at HBO, and have a wonderful relationship, and just finished another show with them called Task, starring Mark Ruffalo. So they really trust me, and it's been a wonderful relationship, but it was all about asking.
I'm so grateful for you are one of the great beauties of our lives. You are a brilliant artist, and your work as a director is just continuing to expand. And I'm just grateful to be here to see it. So thank you so much, Salli.
Thank you. That's very nice.
Hi, I'm Nancy with Film Critique. And I just wanted to say, I've loved a lot of your work. People have mentioned it. Gargoyles, of course, like one of the best. And I was a huge fan of Eureka. I love that show so much. And like Joe Morton, he's such a legend, like especially also in the science fiction field as well. And so I wanted to know if you could talk a bit more about working on that show, doing what you were doing behind the scenes as well as being in front of the camera.
Well, I think when I started that show, I had I remember seeing the pilot and going, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think this is getting picked up. You never know you're going to all of a sudden land yourself on a show as this cult classic. And I think that Eureka maybe made some history too. There's not a lot of Black women leads in sci-fi shows like this. And initially that part was supposed to be for a white woman. I don't know how they let me in on the audition, but somehow it happened. And I think what's funny is I remember getting cast and not realizing that it was for the lead. I was just in my normal auditioning for shows. So Eureka changed my life a lot. It's also the place that gave me my first opportunity to direct. So in many ways, Eureka, obviously I had a film career before that, but Eureka really launched my acting career, and it launched my directing career. So it will always be probably one of the most important jobs that I've had, besides getting Posse, when I first moved to LA.
Nice. Thank you. And congratulations again on your nomination. And yeah, if you guys ever do maybe one of those films, because sometimes the shows that are off the air now, they're starting to do films, a kind of reunion thing. I would love to see it. So.
We're trying. Maybe I'll come out of I'll start acting again just for that.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Salli.
Thank you. And Gil, I appreciate you doing this. It's hard to, it's hard to put yourself out there. I'm so excited to be nominated, and it is just an honor to be invited to the party, and it's an honor to know that I'm the first. It would be a bigger honor to be standing on that stage. So, but
Own it.
You getting the word out is helpful, and I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, you know we love you, and we will certainly be there rooting you on that night.
Thank you.
Know. On behalf of the world's largest group of Black film and TV critics, thank you for watching this special edition of AAFCA Roundtables. Have a great day.